We are live Saturday after the John Deere Classic. 54 holes, LIV, my favorite Roman numeral. We're here. 18 holes to go. Who's going to win? We have Davis Thompson at 21 under in the lead. Not even a few, a load of chasers behind him. Eric Cole, 19. Aaron Ryan, 19. Hayden Springer, CT Pan at 17. Then a bunch of studs at 16. JJ Spawn, Mikey Thorbs, Luke Clanton. If I wish they were playing together. I don't believe they are in the same group. If Mikey Thorbs and Luke Clanton were in the same group, that would be appointment television on their own. So, yeah, there's a ton of chasers live tomorrow. I'm just going to say the stat right now. 4 out of the last 5 John Deere Classic winners have came from well behind, or at least behind a little bit, on Sunday. This is not a golf course where I think I want to be in the lead. I mean, if I was the golfer, I'd want to be in the lead on Sunday. But as a bettor, I think I'd want my guy to be probably a stroke back. I wouldn't say I'd want him to be like 7 back. I would have no chances. But like I would want my guy to be like right around the second to last group, third to last group. Go out there, head down, pedal down, and just make a ton of birdies. Because that's just what it's going to take. These guys who haven't won before are in the final group, and that final group is obviously a ton of pressure, and they're not used to being in that moment. And combine that with having to keep the pedal down and make birdies, I don't think it's the best formula for winning. And we've seen that happen so many times at the John Deere Classic. Just guys have not really fared well in this situation. That's why I think people who are going to be chasing are going to have a much better chance. They're going to be playing carefree, risk-free golf, and that's going to be really rewarding if you're doing it the right way. Whereas if you're in the final group, it's really easy to just get defensive, and we see it time and time again at the John Deere Classic. It's just you can't get defensive. You have to keep the pedal down. The only 2 times out of the last 6 years that a golfer has won with that 54-hole lead were JT Poston and Mike Kim. Mike Kim was winning by 17 shots, it felt like, and JT Poston had I think a 4 or 5 shot lead. So at anytime it's been close, anytime it's been close, the guys behind have gotten it done. Let's do it. Let's freaking do it. I assume you have Thompson and Rye, or Thompson and Cole. So there's going to be let's talk about these guys. So I'm going to bring up the leaderboard, I'm going to give my honest, probably opinions that maybe some of you guys watching later might not want to hear. Look at this profile for beautiful Davis Thompson. Look at this. Third off the tee, 32nd on just absolutely striping the ball, doing everything well. Yeah, if you do this, it's not a surprise that you're leading the golf tournament. You're doing everything well. 21 under in 3 rounds of golf. Doesn't really matter what golf course you're on. 21 under in 3 rounds is very impressive, to say the least. Eric Cole, honestly, look at this start he got off to. Him being 1 under through 8, I was like, this is very on brand for Eric Cole. He doesn't do well in these moments. He doesn't whenever he gets in contention, which is not the most often. He usually backdoors high finishes. Whenever he gets in contention, it usually doesn't end well for Eric Cole. But he bucked up and played himself into the final group, 2 back of Davis Thompson, surely in the mix. Aaron Rye back in the final group for a 2nd straight week. I don't love that it's all with the putter. I really don't. And it got worse from yesterday. Like yesterday, he gained 6.5, but today he still gained 2. And he did better than he put on Thursday. So Aaron Rye just going along, putting great. He's hitting fine shots, hitting fairways. I like that Aaron Rye is not in the lead, because as soon as he gets that solo lead, gets in the lead, he has that right miss. And we saw it last week at the Rocket Mortgage. He's playing from the rough, and although this course is short and you can make a ton of birdies, if you're in the rough, you really struggle to position yourself to make those birdies. So, yeah, I don't really know how Aaron Rye, why that happens to him. I'm trying to say, why does that happen to Aaron Rye? He gets in these, it's nerves, clearly. He's won before. He's such a mechanical and solid golfer. It's crazy to see him spin that ball up the driver face every time he gets in the lead. But I'm happy that he's 2 back. I think he's going to put the pedal down. And I really do like a Rye over Cole. I mean, it's actually more Rye over Thompson. I like a Rye over Thompson matchup. Maybe Rye over Thompson's Cole 3-ball. I have retired from betting golf matchups, so I'm not going to do it. But I'm going to advise that. I really do like that. Do I think Thor has a shot? He's probably my best bullet too. I haven't had a fine week, way better DraftKings week than I have a betting week. So Thor 67, 64, 66. I didn't really peep his stat profile too much, but I mean, how could we complain about this? He's doing everything well. And yeah, you know what this really reminds me of? This really reminds me of Ludwig's first win. Ludwig wasn't in the final group. I'm 99% sure Ludwig was not in the final group. He posted a really low, unless he was in the final group and just ran away when other guys were ahead of him. But I like how it sets up similar to Ludwig. He had a great final round, kind of posted a number, and the guys just couldn't catch him. So that was my comparison to why I bet Thor in the first place. Like, we see Ludwig and Thor come out, and they're bombers. We're like, we want these guys on bomber tracks, but Ludwig did so well on these short positional tracks, or not necessarily short positional track. Positional track that positional players play well on, easy tracks more than short positional. So I think that's very similar to what we have with with Thor this week. So my hopes aren't dashed for Thorbjorn at all, or Michael Thorbjornsen. So my hopes are still high. Like, I wouldn't say high, but they're there. JJ Spawn I told you guys, was a DFS lock this week. Every lineup, I think it was $7,400. He's playing really, really well. That bogey on 18 cost him another stroke. We didn't talk about CT Pan. Hayden Springer has absolutely zero chance. CT Pan, he's a threat. Like, I love this golf course for CT Pan coming into the week. Didn't get to him in any markets because I just liked other guys more. But yeah, it's paying off for CT Pan. Like, you want Pan when you have to hit middle irons, wedges, and make putts, and that's what you have to do here. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit and see if there's a guy who I think could really make a charge. I mean, if there's anyone to shoot 59, it's Ben Griffin, or it's like legit like Denny or Ben Griffin. So let's see how Denny and Ben Griffin are hitting the ball, and then from there, let's see if we can find like a top 5, top 10 number at plus money or at fair odds. I mean, this is Ben Griffin's profile, but this is going to look a lot like Denny's profile. Just very subpar, not subpar like he's gaining, but very average ball striking with just great short game. And well, that's not like the best stat profile. That's how you kind of make your hay around Deere run. Guys do it with a short game year after year. So I guess that is a good thing. And Denny, it's going to be very similar, to be honest. So he's actually losing strokes on approach. He's just such a hilarious golfer, chipping well, putting well, no surprise. But what are those boys' odds for like top 5 or top 10? Ben Griffin, top 5, 9-1. Ben Griffin, top 10, plus 240. I like those. I like those a lot. Ben Griffin, top 10, plus 240. I think that is a great bet. Let's look at Denny. So Denny, top 5 is plus 650. Top 10, plus 175. I like both of those top 10s also. Like, they're both plus money. They're both what? Griffin is one stroke out of the top 10, where Denny is no, they're both one stroke out of the top 10. So they're both minus 14. Obviously, there's a ton of golfers, but these guys are birdie makers. These guys are not scared to go low, and they're probably my 2 favorite bets to make noise. I'll talk about Jordan Spieth, I guess, have to after that great round today. Hitting the ball well, and it's funny that he's just chipping so poorly. If you heard me talk about Jordan Spieth pre-tournament, I said I expect him to have 3 really average rounds and 1 lightning round, and that's on par with what's going on right now. He's average round 1, average round 2, popped like crazy today, was on 59 watts, but kind of stalled out in the end. But yeah, so I don't expect anything crazy from Jordan Spieth tomorrow. Hilarious round from Keith Mitchell, just super unserious golfer. But what Keith Mitchell is doing on approach this season is like they're gonna have an E60 about it, because God knows how he figured this out this year. The iron play is tremendous, but he's got absolutely zero gumption or grit or dog. So I don't really like Keith for anything going forward. Seamus, that was a poor Friday. Like, what are we doing, Seamus? Losing strokes to the field on Friday. Today, he played really well. I mean, he's like, Seamus continues to post these really good stat profiles and good results, but I think it's time to possibly retire from these Seamus Power outrights. I've kind of bet him a lot over the last month and a half, and he hasn't really gotten into contention, but he's posting like great stat profiles. So let's see if we can find one more bet, but let's talk right now about how like who I think can make noise and really come from behind. So do I think Davis Thompson is going to win tomorrow? No, I think someone's going to come from behind. I think someone is going to come from behind. Like I said, 4 of the last 5 have came from behind on this golf course. But now we got to ask the question: who will? Like Sepp nearly shot 59 the year before and won. So there's guys who would do it. So if there's a 59, that's minus 12. 59 is minus 12. What would minus 12 put you if you're 10 under, you finish minus 22. That's not going to get it. If you're 13 under, that puts you minus 25. Minus 25 could win in a playoff. So if someone from this minus 13 range shoots 59, I don't think that's going to happen. Let's say if someone a realistic number to shoot 60, a realistic number to shoot is 63. So 63 is what, 8 under? Yeah, 8 under. So that would have to put you at. So this would get you to 24. I would say that. I mean, that's realistically it's the 7 unders. I mean the 17 unders. Which is not great for my Thorbjornsen call. But damn, this is tough because I don't love Cole and Rye. I think Rye puts the most pressure. Springer has no chance. Pan, whatever. The path for Thompson is there because there's not that many guys in striking distance. I mean, if someone could shoot 60 from this range, I'm gonna say I think the 17s are the best bet. But it's going into the show, I thought it was less likely that Davis Thompson won, but looking at the leaderboard, there's less guys closer than I thought. This is 110% going to happen. I could like pull up my write-up from pre-tournament. It was like it said, I feel like everyone is going to be pissed at Sungjae because he didn't putt enough, but he'll somehow backdoor top 10 or something like that. But he was playing really good, but obviously when it mattered on Saturday, he played like shit. So that about wraps it up. I like Denny. I like Denny and Ben Griffin for top 10 bets. I don't want to make a throw with the outright because I didn't like it as much as I thought going into when we were going into the show. But Denny and Ben Griffin outright, one of those hits, you make plus money. So that about does it. Have a massive week coming up with the Scottish Open and the ISCO, which was the Barbasol. You guys know me, I'm going to try to do 5 shows for each of those golf tournaments and just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And I appreciate you guys listening to me ramble because I know I talk fast, but we will win money. And I know some of you guys have won money and you tell me. So I appreciate that. And yeah, let's keep cashing. Let's keep having fun. Catch you guys most likely Monday afternoon or Sunday night. Let's win tomorrow. Peace out.